All right, you're welcome to the day five of this webinar series. I would like to appreciate every of our audience who has been joining us from day one to day two to day three to day four to day five. Here we are today. We're going to be talking about a very important topic to round up all of the sessions that we've been having, which is the from pilot to production, how you want to scale secure artificial intelligence solutions with Arthurite Integrated. For those who've been joining us from day one, we started very well on a very good foundation of Amazon Bedrock Agent Core for businesses. And we talked about what AI agents are and why they matter at this age. And we also introduced you to the AWS Bedrock Agents Core AI, talking about the multi-agent workflows, different real-world use cases for customer support, analytics, and automation. We also gave a brief demo on how you want to build an AI agent with Amazon Bedrock. Of course, and on day two, we proceeded to talk about getting your hands dirty with Amazon Bedrock Agent Core. We had Mr. Vadim, who is an AWS hero, who talked about agents core in a very much more deeper way, highlighting its architecture and the core component. And he also made mention of behavior and instructions while working with agents core, most especially for businesses. We talked about the model selection in day two, routing agent core for business needs. We made mention of security, and there was also a live demo building of agent core powered by intelligent agents. You can find all of this in our YouTube channel where these sessions are being recorded and available for us to look upon. Of course, on day three, we proceeded to autonomous systems. We proceeded to how businesses can drive value from Amazon Bedrock Agent Core. We talked about what GenAI actually means. We talked about the use cases for small and medium businesses. We also gave use cases across various industries in finance, education, retail, and healthcare. You can find all of these in the YouTube channel. And yesterday we get our hands dirty into security. As we all know, security is very important. Security cannot be neglected. For you thinking of production, for you thinking of how you are developing your solutions, you can't let go of security because security has to be taken with you. If your systems is not secure enough, definitely you are putting that system on risk, and users might not be friendly on that particular security problem that might cause, right? So we looked into security, which was handled by Ms. Diogo and an AWS partner, in person of Mr. Parad, who gave his insight on security when talking about GenAI or artificial intelligence. And here we are today. We'll be looking into the business enablement and adoption. So if you are, because this webinars is actually created for businesses. So if you're a business owner, you might be wondering, how does this affect you? How does this helps you, right? So this session of today wants to tackle that, and we'll be talking about how you can have your how you can upscale or how you can scale your AI adoption roadmap from idea to POC to proof of concept down to production. And that's what we'll be targeting today. And I'm so pleased to invite our speaker in person of Dr. Paul Aderoju, who is a solution architect at Arthurite Integrated, who will be giving us the adoption roadmap from idea to production, as well as giving us the return on investment for Gen AI project. And you'll be also highlighting common mistakes that organization make, which we've realized through our experience, and will be telling us how we can tackle this mistake as early as possible. And we'll also be looking at the authorized integrated agents engagement model, which is also essential for our business enablement, right? And we'll also talk a little bit about authorized integrated client success stories, right? So I'm so thrilled, I'm so happy to join this session of today. But before we continue, I'd like to have some conversation with our audience. Can you tell us where you're joining us from, and your name and where you're joining us from before we continue the session and the chat? All right, so we'll be waiting for your comments. Tell us your name, where you're joining us from. We'd like to know you before we continue and invite our speaker to the stage. We'd like to know our audiences. And if you've been joining us from day one, can you also indicate that? All right. We've waited for your comments. It's so good to have you, Prince from Delta States. If you're yet to tell us your name and where you're joining us from, you can do that in the chat. We're trying to engage our audience at this last time before we continue to invite our speaker. Tell us your name and where you're joining us from. We'll be kickstarting the session very soon. Yeah, and of course, the session is going to start now. Permit me to introduce to you Dr. Paul Aderoju, who will be guiding us from pilot to production, how you can scale secure artificial intelligence solution with Arthurite Integrated. At Arthurite Integrated, we are a technology partner that you can consider to bring artificial intelligence into your system in your organization, and we're trying to explain to you how we do move from pilot to production from our customers. And I'm so pleased to invite to you Dr. Paul Aderoju. Dr. Paul, you have the floor.
Yeah, thank you very much, Abolaji. Please confirm that you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
All right, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you for the privilege to be able to speak here. Um, Good day, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, from anywhere that you're joining around in the world. My name is Paula Doroju, and I work as the lead solutions architect at Arthurite Integrated. Arthurite Integrated, we are an AWS advanced tier partner, focusing, specializing in small and medium scale businesses, artificial intelligence and machine learning, cloud migration, custom web application development and deployment, consultancy, also AWS cloud trainings for corporate and governmental agencies alike. Today, I'll be walking you through how organizations like ours can successfully move from experimenting with artificial intelligence to deploying a secure, scalable, and production grade solution. So at Arthurite Integrated, we work very closely with organizations across Africa and in different industries such as healthcare, energy, oil and gas, financial technology, um, green energy, um, petrochemicals, e-commerce, just to name a few. And we've worked with lots of organizations to ensure AI initiatives do not stop at pilots or demos, but actually deliver, like real, measurable, actionable, business value in production. So today we'll focus specifically on how technologies such as Amazon Bedrock and Amazon Agent Core help us to do this in a secure and enterprise ready way. So here's what today looks like. Firstly, I'll walk you through the practical AI adoption roadmap. Right. So basically, from your ideation phase to the deployment phase. So we talk about ROIs. So firstly, now the AI adoption roadmap begins with, we so what we do for customers is we typically guide them from when they have the initial concept of or idea to the full production deployment with structured phases and clear milestones for each phase. And then we also define or predefine ROIs and success metrics at the beginning of our engagement. So because defining these tangible business impacts and establishing key performance indicators are usually what you can use to actually measure the success, and also usually identify um, frequent missteps and pitfalls in generative AI implementations to help you navigate and avoid costly errors. Yeah, because when you're working with generative AI and machine learning on AWS, yeah, some errors can be very costly, right? And then also engagement models will show you how we usually explore flexible partnership approaches and we detail how Outright collaborates to meet your unique needs. And definitely at the end, we're always celebrating our customers. We showcase our customers through success stories where we do an interview session with them, showcasing our achievements and quantifiable results from our work with them. So the AI adoption. So this is just a slide showing you like the AI adoption roadmap, and the way it is, right? AI adoption is not a single event, right? It's a journey, right? So organizations need to understand that when you're talking about artificial intelligence and adopting it to your business need or to your core business need, it's not a one shop stop, right? It's not something you just do once and then you're done. It's actually a journey, right? And at Arthurite, we guide organizations through four structured phases. So we have our discovery phase. So this discovery phase is a call that we have with every customer or client. So we speak with the managerial staff and we speak with the IT staff. And in the team, we bring our solutions architects and engineers and some of our developers to this particular discussion. Discovery phase is to firstly understand the problem. Where exactly is your organization doing? What are you trying to achieve? So we follow this principle of asking like the five whys. Like, okay, why are you trying to achieve this? Why are you trying to so that we understand that to the very granular details where exactly you're trying to achieve. Because if that is not clear to everyone, then we would not be able to be on the same page with you on that, right? And then so this discovery phase, we are able to understand all your needs and constraints basically. And then after that, we move to the POC stage. So where we basically go back to our drawing board. So the understanding that we have gained from the discovery phase, we're able to build something that is scalable, resilient, and very secure, and that meets your business needs and requirements. And then, so the purpose of this stage is just to validate that this particular solution that we have built can work. And then we do a pilot deployment where we have kind of like a testing stage where we have a controlled cohort of users that are going to use the solution for a period of time. And then during this period, we get feedback from them, right, to understand, okay, what are the areas where there's need for improvements, what are the areas where there are some things that should not be there or that things they want us to add. So these are the things that we're able to map out in the pilot deployment and test the solution with three users, control group. And then from the feedback that we get, we're able to reiterate on the project, we're able to go back to our drawing board to make sure that it is better. It is better in the sense that it's meeting the business objectives and needs. It's resilient, scalable, and secure. And then we push to production, and then we keep monitoring and evaluating, right? So you can see that, as I said earlier, so it's not a single event; it's actually a journey. And even after production, right, we still offer post-production support and maintenance to our clients. So an experience has shown us that organizations that follow this kind of iterative approach are usually far more successful in achieving long-term AI value, right? So you won't just put in just putting an AI like solution, just one thing, and close your shop for the day. You've seen that this cycle of this cycle going over it time and over again is what makes organizations actually get the best out of AI in their deployments, right? So also, yeah, something to note is that in our discovery phase, I'm coming. Yes, sorry, I think. oh, Yes, in our discovery phase, we okay. I think something is glitching. But in our discovery phase, it's about understanding the business. Not even in technology. So at this point, we're trying to understand the business value, as I said earlier. What are the constraints? What are the data like? What is your data like? What are your real problems? And also, yeah, something that's very important is also look at regulatory requirements and your success criteria. In your POC stage, you know, the one of the biggest challenges in AI adoption is transitioning from your POC to production, and this is actually where actually a lot of projects die, right? So we often call this like something like the valley of death. So when I was creating this this roadmap, I tried to make sure that this POC was like a valley, right? Because um, there's where a lot of ideas die basically. Because if you're able to successfully move from POC to production, then you have done a good job, right? And then how do we then go ahead to measure generative AI return on investments, right? So we look at the cost efficiency, right? So the cost per transaction. We're making sure that with generative AI, we're able to basically reduce the cost of doing a certain task by at least 40 to 60 percent. So we look at four key areas: the cost efficiency, the operational impacts, the user experience, and the strategic value. So, for example, now we're able to reduce response time of an organization, the way they respond to FAQs or emails. Also, so that once we can do that, we know that we're increasing the throughput. The staff can have time to actually do more meaningful work and even unlocking new revenue stream entirely. So typically, most organizations will break even within about 6 to 12 months of AI adoption, and with constant iteration of the cycle. And most times they would start seeing returns, 2 to 3 returns within the first year. Yeah, so you can see it's actually a very quick process most times. So also we're very concerned about the user experience, right? We usually want to work to make sure that the customer satisfaction scores increase. So we do this by ensuring that we get feedback every time. So from the customer, you also try and measure the user adoption rates for most of these AI services, right? So I'll quickly want to go over from the experience that we've had some of the mistakes that organizations make, and would want you to learn from their mistakes so that you don't make them, right? So the first one is starting without use case clarity, right? So because AI is a buzzword now, so every organization, every company wants to have something AI there. So just come to us and say we need AI, right? So it's not a strategy. Needing AI is not a strategy, right? But you need to define specific business problems, right, and their potential solutions before even initiating the project at all, right? And then understanding your data requirements, which is very, very important. So AI models, data is their food, right? Data is the currency of AI and machine learning. So they're only as effective as the data that they are provided or trained on. So we usually actually create a separate budget to have comprehensive data cleaning and quality checks and preparation. So most times, especially when we're trying to deploy like a custom machine learning model. So when we get our data sources, we group them into like the test data and then the ones that would for production, and then we're going to basically clean this data using custom methods that we have, and then we are able to then train the machine learning model using this cleaned data. And then, yes, the other mistake or common mistake that most organizations make is ignoring change management, right? So, technology accounts for about 30% of success, right? So, but user adoption, training, and cultural integrations comprise the remaining 70%. So, basically, we are trying to say that technology is great, right? Is the driving force most times, right? But it's not the only thing there, right? Your users, your end users, your clients, training your staff, and then cultural integration. These are things you should not, ignore at the beginning. You need to involve all your stakeholders at the earliest time, right at the beginning. Once you start pushing, or once you are trying to even start pushing AI workloads, start informing them, especially your clients. Tell them how they're going to benefit. Let them even be expectant, right, of this, because if at the end we are able to build something that your client does not want or your customers do not want, then that is like an anti-pattern or counterintuitive, right? And yes, another part is keeping security and governance. So I'm very sure in I think the third or fourth day of this series, we had some speakers talking about security and compliance, especially in the age of artificial intelligence and machine learning. So you need to understand, you need to look at your local and regional regulatory requirements to understand the data compliance frameworks that have been put in place. Because, as I said before, you need to feed your machine learning model, or your AI system good data. So you need to make sure that the data that you are feeding it is data that has passed compliance checks, right? So most times, a lot of people, organizations would first do their deployment and then start looking back. Oh, then how can we start, seeing how we can make it more secure? But no, security has to begin from the first day, right? So you have to embed compliance, privacy, and governance policies into your AI architecture from the very, very first day, right? So it's not like you do your deployment and then you're going back, start saying, oh, we've done our deployment, but then, oh, we read the NDP A regulation, and we are seeing that there are some areas where we are not compliant, right? So they are basically trying to retrofit or retrofit your solution. So most times you actually have to like build from the start or from the beginning again. So why not just take all of that into account from the very first day? Then another mistake you should avoid is something called vendor locking without your strategy. So we usually encourage our clients to choose platforms that offer flexibility, interoperability, very very important, and multi-cloud options to avoid dependencies that will stifle future innovations. Right. So AWS, right, which is the largest cloud provider in the world, I believe, with one of the most extensive arrays of services available to the public, right, is a very great choice to start from. But we also usually encourage our clients, right, to have other sources, it explore basically explore, look into multi-cloud options, so that your future innovations or businesses, right, like you um don't get into any trouble or any problem, that you can't because of a downtime or something like that. And yes, at the beginning too, we also we also encourage our clients to define clear success metrics, right? So for your organization, for you as a business, what does a successful AI implementation look like for you, right? So without clear measurable objectives, you cannot track progress, and you cannot justify continued investments, right? So you have the board, you have the investors. You need to show them your white paper. You need to show them the figures. You need to show them the value. You need to understand where their money is going to. So that's why it's always very good. We encourage our clients and our customers to have their clear objectives, so that sometime during the cycle, if maybe after 3 to 6 months, they go back to their papers and see, oh, there's something going on, something is not tallying, right? Oh, we are not, we have seen that. Okay, let me say 1 to 2 years, not 3 to 6 months. Let me say 1 to 2 years, and they are seeing that, oh, they are not meeting their expectations or their goals. That's an indication that they need to go back to the drawing board. They need to see what area they are feeling in meeting their KPIs or targets, right? And yes, another thing that another mistake we should avoid is treating AI as a one-time project. I think I said it earlier. It's a journey. It's not a one-time thing, right? Because AI systems, they require continuous monitoring, regular retraining, and ongoing optimization. And you would agree with me, every day, there's something new in the AI industry, in the machine learning industry, right? So you have to, as these things are evolving, you also have to make sure your systems evolve with them to be up to the current trends, right? So you can maintain the performance and relevance of your service, of your products. So Arthurite Integrated, we have flexible partnership engagement models, right, that are usually tailored to needs. So as I said, we partner with lots of small and medium scale businesses and enterprises in Nigeria, and we have different ways or strategies by which we partner with them, right? So we recognize that every organization is different, right? So at times we even have to, formulate something custom because organizations are different. So we are very flexible in our engagement models. But the three main ones that we offer are advisory and consulting. So where we give you strategic guidance for your AI readiness. So we conduct use case discovery workshops. We do our architectural design and review. Look at your AWS customization, and we do a financial audit for it basically, and they will do a security and compliance assessment. So this usually spans from 2 weeks to about 12 weeks, depending on the volume of work. Or though we're a very lean team, so we move very quickly. So most times we're able to complete our work in record time. Also, in terms of implementation services, we offer full service AI solution development. So from ideation phase to the POC, the deployment, test phase, everything. We offer full end-to-end service. So we have our ways of integrating AI services and agent core on Bedrock, an agent core, and production migration support. So this is a fixed price, but also very flexible.
Sorry, if you can still hear me, we lost your voice.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah, yes, it's better now.
Sorry, yes. And then, so in the implementation services part, we do our POC and pilot developments, Bedrock integration, agent core deployment, and production migration supports. These are ongoing services. And then our managed services, this include ongoing optimizations and supports, where we offer 24/7 monitoring and support, model performance tuning, cost management and reporting, and security audits and compliance. So this is something that's like an operational service that is ongoing, right? And so yeah, this is how we work and engage our customers and clients. So you might be wondering, why should you partner with Arthurite Integrated? Firstly, we are an AWS advanced tier partner. We have a security first approach, and we provide end-to-end support. We're focused. We have excellence in Africa-based enterprises and businesses. Also, we have trainings and enablements for our clients and customers. We train their IT staff even after doing deployments for them, we check their IT stats for them to be able to basically manage and support these deployments. And we have a very proven track record working with lots of clients and customers in the past. So these are just some of the success stories that we had from some of the clients we worked with. You can see, so for the building tech, so the challenge was that the legacy systems caused significant delays in data access for the employees, right? So we're able to deploy Amazon Quick Sites for real-time analytics dashboard and integrated disparate data sources into a centralized, unified platform. And it's basically translated to 80% efficiency in decision making, 100% team adoption rate, because it was very easy for the team to adopt this, and 45% customer satisfaction from 20%. Also for Titan Physiotherapy, we had something very similar with them. So, and Arthurite Integrated, we have a vision because we consider ourselves one of the leading forces in Africa's AI revolution. We are expanding into different markets within the continent and even beyond the continent, with branches already established in Nigeria and Ghana, and with planned establishment of branches in Uganda, Kenya, and Rwanda this year. And definitely, we also have a branch in London, and we have a very strategic partnership with AWS that is able to allow us basically carry out these services. And our mission is basically to become the premier partner for global tech companies that are actually in the African markets, driving innovation and digital transformation across the continent. So, for you as an organization, we can basically reach out to us now. This is our email info@arthuriteinategrated.com. We actually offer free AI readiness assessment, which is actually $5,000 in value, but we are able to do that for organizations that would contact us within this stipulated time, just 2 weeks after this presentation. We'll do a free discovery workshop and a pilot program discount of 20%. So our doors are open. We are happy to work with you, and we hope to basically see you soon. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, please, you can go ahead.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Padereju. I believe that has been able to showcase what we deliver as part of our service to customers. And if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat before we call it a webinar. And we would like to also appreciate those that have been joining us from day one to this particular time. Um, So we have some set of questions, Mr. Paul. Um, Part of it is because you've been able to highlight the authorized position in helping businesses migrate to artificial intelligence usage. So, like some people are asking, how do strong AI governance and security practices translate into measurable business outcome? Let me put that in the chat. I don't know if you've gotten that. Sorry, Mr. Paul, are you there? All right. So I guess that could be a network issue. So to answer that, strong AI governance and security practices, how does it translate? So, like we made mention in the first session that we had, and which was on day 4, we talked. Okay,
Hello,
Mr. Paul, are
sorry,
you?
can you hear me now? Yes.
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
All right, so I think I had a network issue. So I think I heard your
Okay.
question. You said, how do strong AI governance and security practices translate into measurable business outcomes? Okay, um, this is a very good question, and I'm very happy such a question came around. Right, it was coming around. So again, as I said, when working or building, when trying to work with artificial intelligence and building a system or incorporating a system into your current process, right? You need to make sure that you are working with local and regional regulatory and compliance frameworks, right, from the get go. So, because retrofitting your deployments, right, to start, to start meeting these demands can be very, very difficult and very, very challenging. And at times, or most times, you'd have to start the entire process again, right? So AI governance and security practices basically make sure that your architecture from the very get go is compliant, right, and is audited and is rather is available to be audited, right, by any regulatory. And how does that translate to measurable business outcomes? Well, I'll say the way it translates into measurable business outcomes is not a direct translation because your business outcomes are basically more on like how you are basically your returns on investment, right? Like how you're able to scale up, right? It's just a foundation that you can be assured, or rather, where your customers can be assured, or your clients can be assured that their data and and any kind of information is gotten from there, it's used in a reasonable way and in a way that is compliant basically with any framework, and it's just a way to assure their clients know that their data is safe and is protected with you. So it's actually more of a matter or an issue of trust, right? So rather than an issue of an outcome. But I mean, trust is also very necessary in business operations. So yeah, you can draw a direct link between those two in that regard. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much for that. And I would also like to add that in the session that we had yesterday, we also talked about uh, when governance, security, and compliance are actually built from the start. So this makes it very aware, like to the team, that what we are trying to build is from this perception of ensuring compliance and putting that trust, as you also mentioned. So thank you very much for that. I will. I think it's a good time for us to have it a session, a webinar series. Can you join us in our subsequent webinar series targeted towards artificial intelligence or targeted towards business development? Because Arthurite Integrated reiterate its position as a technology leader uh, transforming innovation in Africa. Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Paul Aderoju. And also to our audiences, we also want to like to appreciate your consistency, still from day one to this particular time. Thank you very much for joining us. And I think with this, we can call it a webinar series. Thank you very much. Bye.